Hey, I'm Deerhart, and I want to talk about affirmative self-pleasure again. And what I mean by that is maybe I am horny suddenly, I am bored, I am looking for something exciting, whatever, and I start to play with myself. That's something that I call kind of a reactive type self-pleasure. It's fun, feels really good. My body likes that, I need that. But then there's like a completely different experience that I call affirmative self-pleasure, in which I get to just like lay down boundaries, clear the schedule, say this is my time, touch my body, really explore what's going on the inside of me as a touch-in. And I call it affirmative because it's affirming that I matter, pleasure matters, touching my body matters, exploring my psyche matters, exploring the contents of my fantasy mind and playing with my cock. It actually matters. It's something that I'm gonna put into the day and make it a part of my self-care. It's a healthy sense of entitlement to say that what goes on inside my heart and my body and my mind is something that matters to me. And I think a lot of us really struggle with this part about being affirmative about sex. We might have a lot of sex, we might play with ourselves a lot, but I don't know that we're always doing it from a place within ourselves that is affirmative. I've been thinking about this idea of the closet. And when we talk about coming out of the closet, it's like this one-time event, it happens, it's done, and then we move on, and we're these free, liberated sexual beings. But I don't really think that that's how it works. In fact, we might have a moment where we tell the truth to ourselves for the first time, we come out of the closet, and it's an instant shift in the sense that we start telling the full truth to ourselves. But then there's like this ongoing evolution and a coming out of the closet that continues to happen. We're always going to be telling the truth or not telling the truth to ourselves in some capacity. And then there's like everything that I left behind in the closet. And what if I want to actually make that usable space instead of it being a storehouse of all the things that I ever thought, all the energy that I ever wrapped up in feeling shameful about myself, all the different like stacks of magazines, like dirty magazines, digital images, websites, porn practices, ways of thinking about myself, shame about my body, all that kind of stuff. It's still in the closet, even if I've decided to come out and live my life as openly as I know how to be. So, for instance, let me tell you about this. The other night I was having sex with my partner, and I just kind of felt like I noticed that I was feeling a little disconnected on the inside, and I kind of thought he was too, and we were kind of just like doing it, but like not fully connecting and feeling really this exciting, energetic fusion that happens sometimes whenever we're really out there, and those are the kind of experiences I want and really live for. I don't really want to just have an ejaculation. I want to be able to like really get in touch with myself. So I was thinking and fantasizing and not really sharing with him what was going on in my mind, and I felt kind of like embarrassed about what I was thinking about. And it's like, doesn't that happen all the time? We're just like going about what we're doing, we're turning them into like our dads, our brothers, our college roommates, or whatever. Or there's the chatter that's happening too. There's like, oh my god, I don't like when he touches me there, I feel kind of fat when that happens. Oh, is my dick good enough? His dick is so much better than mine, I love that. Oh my god, this is so amazing, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I don't really like this anymore, do I want to be doing this? Blah, 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 blah. This is the chatter that's going on in our minds 24/7. It happens when we're walking around, when we're at the grocery store, when we're having sex. It's not a matter of does this happen, it's like it does, and how do I want to engage with that? How do I want to utilize this whole argument between all the parts of myself to my favor? So my suggestion is that we look at what happens when we come out of the closet. What are we leaving behind? What's in there actually? And really explore that data. I talk to guys all the time, partners even that have maybe been married for like 10 years that still have a difficult time sharing with each other about what's really happening when they're having sex, what's going on in their minds, how they're fantasizing to really create a scene and kind of sculpt it. And maybe we change, when we fantasize, we often change our bodies, we change the circumstances, we like manipulate things in a way that helps us feel safe enough to feel turned on, aroused, and to try to create this like sex that we like, this mythological kind of sex standard that we hold ourselves to that's like out there somewhere. And we utilize all kinds of like little schemes to get there. We use substances, we use parties, we use our personas that we build. We do all kinds of stuff so that we can like align with what we are trying to hold ourselves accountable to. But the problem is, I think that we don't actually always build the practice, the skills, the openness, the open-hearted, open mind receptivity that happens when we really practice and put energy and time into learning how to communicate about what's going on with us, looking at the impediments to communicating, learning about the senses in our bodies, how to like be in contact with our bodies in a deeper way, how to utilize our bodies to bring the inner experience that we're having on the inside into the form and like into our partners, into the scene. And that's the thing that's happening, whether we admit that or not. Like we're struggling with a lot of injunctions against pleasure, prohibitions against touching our bodies, from talking about it, from thinking about it. So we're working against this uphill that we've been treading on for a long time, even after we've come out of the closet. So one of my most treasured practices, this little mirror back here, use the mirror. Get in front of the mirror, eye gaze with yourself, check in, be like, what's going on for me right now? Say things to yourself, talk dirty to yourself. Notice when you feel kind of silly. Notice when you think you've landed on something that feels authentic. Play with your body positions, touch your body everywhere. Experiment with like different forms. Notice how you hold yourself. Notice how you fuck. Notice how you play with yourself. What is the tension like in your arm? Do you switch hands? Do you use different positions? Do you like explore different parts of yourself that feel kind of silly maybe, or edgy, or that you can feel that are out there that you just you haven't quite stepped into as a being, and utilize that as a practice so that when you're in sex with your partner, you can start to bridge that gap between what's happening on the inside and what you're doing with your body. And sometimes we have spectacular sex just by circumstances. Everything lines up just right. We feel great in our bodies, we feel present, we feel calm, we feel really open to pleasure and sensation, and we go there and it's amazing. And a lot of times whether we're partnered or single and hooking up or whatever, we have these experiences where part of us is feeling like, wow, this is okay, and then part of me is like disgusted, and part of me is really turned on because I love his cock, and then part of me is feeling like, oh, I can't wait to get out of here, and as soon as I come I might leave, or whatever it is that we're doing to manage this little inner chatter. So I suggest we clean out the closet, move out all the stuff, all those little images and the places that we think, that our turn on lives, like in this kind of guy on that website, in this particular scenario, in this fantasy. Those are ties of our energy that are like, that it takes active amounts of energy for us to partition, to tie ejaculating to this particular image, to tie a good sexual situation to just forming it exactly like this, instead of just being open in the moment and using our bodies to express what's going on inside of us, which is a changing, flexing environment all the time. If you like this practice and you'd like to hear more about it, or if you want to do session work with me, please reach out to me. I work with single people, people in partnerships, people in polypods, all kinds of different arrangements. Whatever it is that you're looking for in your life right now, I'd love to chat with you about this. And I'd also love to hear about any comments that you might have, any thoughts, any resistance, any personal experiences in which you are playing with some of this stuff and really starting to learn about yourselves. I love hearing feedback about that. Email me at finn@finndeerhart.com. That's FINNDEERHART.com. And I totally look forward to hearing from you. And I so appreciate you taking the time to watch this video.